Yeah, sounds good. Filtering.
Okay, so welcome to the Crytek stand here at GDC 2012. My name is Scott Fitzgerald. I'm a technical designer in the engine licensing team. Today I'm going to give you a live demonstration of the DirectX11 improvements in CryEngine 3. For this demonstration I'll be using the content provided in the free SDK, which is available for download at crydev.net. Some of the rendering features that I'll be covering in this presentation: parallax occlusion mapping, hardware-based tessellation, shadow improvements such as SSDO or screen space directional occlusion, real-time reflections, tessellated ocean, particle shading improvements, point light shafts, and many more features that improve the visual quality of the game. Also, there's been some updated improvements to the toolset. One of the nice ones we've recently introduced is the new MNM, which is our multi-layered navigation system. Further ado, I'll jump straight in and we'll start off with parallax occlusion mapping. So, in Crysis 2 we've reintroduced the use of POM. This efficiently approximates the surface displacement in tangent space without actually having to use any geometry. In Crysis 1 this was limited to horizontal or terrain objects. But now in CryEngine 3 this can be applied to almost any asset in the world. So what I'll do, I'll just quickly grab this road surface here. Inside the material editor, I'll just grab the information of this road. If we zoom in a little bit closer, we can actually see this material here is actually using the POM under the shader generation parameters. You can just literally turn it straight off and see it's just reduced itself down to a sort of very basic texture. Turning it back on, you can see it adds quite a lot of depth back into the material. So we've got a couple of controls we can play around with. We have POM displacement and self-shadow strength. So we can just increase these up. And if you notice, the actual road is starting to, the effect is getting a lot more exaggerated. And you can bring it all the way back down again. Also we have self-shadow strength, so if you increase this up, you'll notice that it's actually starting to make it a little bit more obvious, or we can turn it all the way back down. Good. Get feedback. Yeah, so the data required to achieve POM is the same height map that we use in the displacement mapping. So you can basically set up your assets depending on your target hardware platform. So where POM is a DX9 feature and tessellation is a DirectX11 only. So talking of tessellation, we'll actually move straight onto this. So if we just fly over here to this little building. So this is one of the most important updates that's been provided by the DirectX11 update. This is programmable hardware tessellation. Since Crysis 2 it was a little bit awkward to actually place assets in the world through the pipeline and for the tessellation, but nowadays in the latest update we've made it a lot easier, and it's just a matter of ticking a checkbox depending on what type of tessellation you want to use. So under here we have this brick one. Currently it's using displacement from tessellation, so if I just turn these off, and the asset by itself is pretty flat. So if I start build up from the lowest to the highest, I can actually re-enable POM on this, and you can see it gives it a nice little effect. It starts to extrude out some of the geometry. But if we swap to wireframe mode, just let it build up. I'll I'll just turn off some of the background features so it's a little bit easier to see. Just get rid of the vegetation, terrain, ocean. And this is the basic asset that you generally have inside like a DirectX11, so there's no actual extra geometry involved. So swap in back out here, if we turn parallax occlusion mapping off. And if we go into the first or the most basic one is the font tessellation. If we enable this, you can see that all the surfaces start to inflate a little bit. And Fong is an approximation technique designed to smooth based on vertex normals. The only drawback to this is it's not very good across patch boundaries on the mesh, so you tend to get a little bit of say blowout on the edges. So if we come here and just swap back into wireframe, you can see it's quite a complex tessellation is done. So the next one we have is PN triangles. This is very similar to Fong, but it's got better approximation techniques. So